Hello, welcome back to our little farm here in East Texas. I'm Chrissy, and today I am getting a few necessary jobs done in the garden. So the first one I'm going to start with is popping some fertilizer on this raised bed. Now, the long-term view of this and plan is that this will not need fertilizer. Being a hugelkultur bed, it will feed itself with all those beautiful microbes that are going to be blooming and blossoming in the bottom there and feeding the soil. But in the short term, while it establishes itself, I think I may need to give it a little help along. And this is an organic fertilizer I got. I found it on a super big sale at Tractor Supply, so I grabbed a couple thinking exactly this, that I might need to just give the beds a little bit of a boost until they get fully established. So I'm just going to put a bit of this on this bed, and then we're going to see if we can't do something about these fire ants. So the instructions just say to sprinkle it on top and then water it in. We can work it into the soil, but I don't think that's going to work very well with the straw. So I think it'll seep down in there eventually. Now the other little task I have is, having put hay down, we've got some sprouting weeds coming out the top of the hay, so just need to pick them out before they get too big, which should be pretty easy because they're all tiny. I wasn't sure at first if they were from the hay or if they were some of the seeds I'd planted, but having a closer look, I think that they are just sprouting up from the hay, so we'll pull those out. It is not my normal practice to put fertilizer, organic or otherwise, on the garden. Other than the only couple of times I have done it is when I'm first establishing a garden bed and the soil is really poor and it hasn't had a chance to really fix itself given, you know, the right ingredients. And for budgetary reasons, I've never really been in a place to spend a lot of money on amendments. And probably, honestly, if I hadn't have found this on a sale, like it was a couple of dollars, maybe $3 or something. So it was so cheap that I thought, oh, that's worth probably doing when we're just starting out here. But normally I wouldn't do that. And also look, some new babies. Little nasturtium. I saw this the other day and thought it was a nasturtium, but it's grown so much just since yesterday. And there's another little one there. Let's see. So the radishes are really popping out now because they came out the other day. I probably need to go through and thin more of them. I thinned a little bit this morning. Here, there it is. These little guys, I think, are beetroot. Little baby beetroots. So as you can probably hear, I'm not feeling the greatest today. I've spent all day yesterday was Sunday and I pretty much just lay low, walked in the garden, hung on the swing, listening to my audiobook. Just a day of rest was very much needed. So I'm feeling a bit better than I did yesterday, but still not feeling fantastic. So that's okay. I'm really happy to see those beets coming up. Beets, depending on where you're from. So I'll have to thin some of these guys out and water them in. And then I was going to come along here with diatomaceous earth, as has been recommended by quite a few people for the fire ants. But with me watering, there's potential of a thunderstorm. It's really humid today, but I don't think the thunderstorm's going to be for another day or two. It's a helicopter. Okay, I'm just going to grab some of this diatomaceous earth that, let's see, there we go. I think that's the stuff we need. Okay. I'll bring it out here, and although it's not, I don't know, there is a chance of a thunderstorm, but it says on the app, like it's looking cloudy and overcast, but the weather app says it's not coming till Thursday, and today's Monday, so it gives me a few days of dry potentially. Now I know there are fire ants right here because they got me. They're just under that wood chips. And there's a few other spots where I know they are. So I'll just maybe target a few of them. Let's see. It's a bit windy. It's probably not a great day for this.
Does it work?
Sprinkled it. Well, I've had a few people tell me that it works really well. I did hear 1 or 2 reports that it said it didn't work, but most people seem to think it does work. So we're going to try it.
See what?
Try and get rid of the fire ants out of my garden so they stop biting me.
Do they, like...
Is that a good idea, Bubba?
Will they, like, start dying, like, any minute now or something? What will happen?
You want a hot chocolate?
Yeah. Oh, what will happen? Will they, like, stop dying, like, in a few minutes or...
I don't actually know how long it takes. I'm not too sure. We're going to have to wait and see, but apparently it doesn't hurt the plants at all. I did a couple of patches over there in that garden, and I'm just going to walk down here, and I'll have to kind of hunt a little bit, like pull back the bark in a few places where I think I remember seeing them, and just specifically put there. One question I have, which I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this, is will the diatomaceous earth harm, you know, the good bugs that are in the soil, like the slaters or little roly-polies that are in there, and the other good bugs that we do want? Now some of those have a soft outer, anyway, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Just a minute, we'll have morning tea real soon. Real soon, just a minute. So if anyone knows the answer to that, that would be awesome. I will go down here and have a look, and we'll see if I can at least target some of them. Rather than put it everywhere, I'll just try and target them and then try and find out if it's safe to put on the whole garden bed, because I don't want to harm the good bugs and insects that we want in the garden. I'm so excited. Look what I have just found. I was out here watering this herb garden and watering the seedlings, and if there's more capsicums coming up, and we have some baby itty bitty teeny weeny baby parsley, little bit of baby oregano just starting to show its face. The marigolds are continuing to come up, but look, can you see? I hope I've got the camera in the right spot. This is chamomile, and actually, even though I pulled these ones out already and put them in the ground, there's more rocket coming up. But what I'm really excited about is, I think this is the chamomile that I originally got from Jess, and I brought home and sowed and nothing happened, and I was like so bummed about it when I had started seeds inside. And all this time later, I just kept the tray going because I had lavender in it. The other thing I have that hasn't come up is passion flower, which I think is the same as passion fruit, and I'm really hoping it has the same late blooming miracle because it didn't sprout. So I'm just gonna keep watering and keep it out here in the sunshine and hoping and praying that they come up as well. But I'm very excited about the chamomile. Another little thing I just did right now is I had I want to say citronella plants. I'm trying to think what the name of them was. Anyway, these guys, this is a little cutting I took. Most of the plant died back and didn't do too well. It just barely survived in the garage over the winter. But I've taken these two cuttings with the only sort of greenery left on it, and I'm just going to pop them in some potting mix there, water them, and usually that kind of plant grows back really easily from cuttings, so I'm hoping we can save it that way. All right, well, gotten a few jobs done this morning. The diatomaceous earth, gave some worm juice to some of these beds, and I think what I'm going to do with the worm juice is I'm just going to come once a day, take a bucket, or maybe twice a day, and just rotate which bed I put it on, because I don't have enough to do the entire garden every day, but I'll just do it every couple of days, and it'll give, I can already see a difference where I've put it. That stuff is just magical. So I've got a few white patches. You can see where I've popped the diatomaceous earth on there, and we're just going to see what happens with that. Hopefully we'll get some good results. But I am going to go inside, have a cup of tea, and dose up on some elderberry because I'm not feeling great. But I'm happy that I got a few things done in the garden, and I appreciate you being here and coming along for the ride. Sunshine and raindrops to you, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow.